Maritime Made is sponsored by Invest Nova Scotia because great things are happening. Invest Nova Scotia connects your business with the right resources and opportunities. InvestNovaScotia.ca.
Lost Bell Estate Winery is located in Falmouth, Nova Scotia, on the former site of Saint Famille Wines, where you'll find some of the oldest vines in the province.
The Acadian village was right on this site, the parish of Saint Famille, and when the British were coming to expel the Acadians, as the story goes, they melted all their gold down into a bell, and they threw the bell into one of the ponds on the property. So the bell has never been found to this day. I told this story to the new owner, and he loved the story, and then decided Lost Bell would be the perfect name for this place. The philosophy of the company, to make good wine. That's our philosophy. Wine for that people can enjoy, wines that anyone would be proud of to share with their friends, yeah, basically we make good wine.
One of their most popular wines is regional specialty Tidal Bay. Their 2022 blend involves harvesting 3 types of green grapes: Céval, Siegfried, and L'Acadie Blanc. To begin, sugar levels must be checked, ensuring they're ready. L'Acadie Blanc grapes from various parts of the vineyard are assessed. They're bagged and smashed, making juice. An eyedropper takes a sample and places it on a digital refractometer. The sweetness is tested, sharing the potential alcohol content. The acidity is tested too. It's time for the harvest. The team will hand-pick 9 rows of L'Acadie Blanc today. The team works away clipping grapes until the bins are filled. Next, the bins are emptied into a large harvesting tub. When the tub is full, it's taken to the fermentation room. Here, grapes are examined. Next, the tub is weighed and the variety and tonnage are documented. Grapes covered in wild yeast are placed in the shade so they won't ripen any further. In the next step in the winemaking process, the grapes are dumped into the crushing and de-stemming equipment and raked into a hopper. An auger smashes them to a pulp and sends them to another tub while removing stems. In the fermentation room, liquid enzymes and water are added to each tub and stirred in. Then the sugar levels are tested again before the tubs are left to soak overnight before being crushed the next morning. Next, the press is prepared and a hose is dropped in. Inside the wine cellar, a hose is attached to the stainless steel chiller tank. Now the fermenting tubs are brought to the press and stirred to release juice. They're picked up, tilted, and a hose is attached. A pump keeps the grapes moving and pumps them into the metal press. In the press, a rubber bladder is pressurized using a compressor and is spun repeatedly, squeezing all possible juice out of holes in the press. Pouring it into a bottom tray, where another hose takes green juice to the wine chiller, while leaving the grape skins behind. A pump is reattached to the transfer hose and pushes any remaining juice to the chiller. Here in the chiller, the green juice will cold settle at 3 degrees Celsius for 2 days. Then, juice is racked. It's taken off the top and pumped into a fermentation tank where it's warmed. Yeast is prepared with warm water and a yeast food. The yeast is measured and stirred in. After 20 minutes, it starts hydrating and bubbling and gets acclimatized with a bit of juice before being fully inoculated. Then it's racked again. At this stage in the fermentation process, a sample is checked with hydrometer readings. Now it's time to correct any cloudiness. A pipette removes 10 milliliters and puts it in a test tube, followed by 1 milliliter of bento. A flashlight is used to see if it's clear and protein stable. If not, trials happen to see how much bentonite is needed. Luckily, it's crystal clear. It takes 2 weeks to ferment each of the varieties used in Tidal Bay.
Tidal Bay is going really well these days for us. This year we've made more Tidal Bay than we ever had in my whole career. So, and it's selling well, and I'm told that everyone likes it. As well, we have several more Lost Bell wines that are new in the industry, with new packaging, new labels, new marketing. So yeah, so far it's all going well.
When the fermentation is complete, wine is racked into clean tanks and heated to 15 degrees Celsius. After a coarse filtration, different blends are created to send to an independent tasting panel. When a blend is approved to receive the Tidal Bay name, Lost Bell can add the winning proportions of each wine to a 10,000-liter Tidal Bay tank. A liter of this wine is taken to test how much sweetening is needed. Sugar is measured and added to stirred wine. A bit is poured into a wine glass, where it's swirled and taste tested. Once they decide how much sugar tastes best, the correct amount is added to the tank. One last cold stabilization happens by adding cream of tartar. Medium and fine pre-filtrations happen before the blend goes through a final membrane. From there, it moves directly to the bottling line. Before filling the bottles, the team does a taste test, ensuring they're bottling the right wine. And the cases are labeled. Now, the bottles are unloaded onto a rinser for cleaning. Then they go to the bottling line. Pneumatics brings each empty bottle up, filling them with Tidal Bay. Moving clockwise, a turnstile takes them to a stopper, injecting them with nitrogen, reducing the wine to 750 milliliters in each bottle and adding this preservative. Next, caps and sleeves secure each bottle. Here they move down the conveyor, and each bottle is labeled and date-coded. They collect after a final conveyor and get assessed. If perfect, they're boxed in the original cases, taped shut, and placed on a pallet. Once 80 are loaded, they're taken to the warehouse to be shrink-wrapped and stored. It takes almost 6 months to make Tidal Bay wine. Tidal Bay is Nova Scotia's signature wine. Wineries must follow strict guidelines and be approved every year by an independent blind tasting panel.